welcome to another City Update. I'm Deborah Sedillo Dugan. We are at fire station number 61 here with Captain Larry Subervi. Thanks for joining us, Captain. We're going to talk about the hot days of summer and how to stay cool. Boy, we are in the middle of August and it is hot.
Yeah, extremely hot right now. So, you know, there's some basic things that we would like people to do to kind of keep themselves prepared for the day. Obviously, hydration is the biggest key for us. And a lot of people think of hydration when I get thirsty, I need to start drinking water, but really the preparation needs to come in the night before and really throughout the entire summer. We always say around 16 ounces of water an hour, up to 32 ounces if you're going to be outside. We start hydrating the night before, continue hydrating throughout the day. If you're going to be outside, then we increase our water intake.
Okay, so number one, hydrate. What's the second tip?
Well, along with hydration comes, planning your day and really knowing what you're going to be doing that day. So nutrition is a huge part of it as well. There are foods that really help us hydrate as well. Cucumbers and celery, basic vegetables, any greeny vegetables are really good. Melons, even though they're a little bit high in sugar, watermelon, cantaloupe are also great sources of water. Yogurt is another great source of water. So when we talk about planning your day, it's really what am I going to be doing? How much water do I need? And what should my nutrition look like for my throughout the day? Protecting yourself from the sun as well, wearing loose-fitted clothing, light clothing. If you're going to be in and out, then we can say, hey, short sleeves are fine. But if you're going to be outside for a prolonged period of time, a long sleeve shirt that's loose-fitting that'll protect you from the sun, a wide-brimmed hat, sunglasses to protect your eyes. Any skin that's exposed, we recommend an SPF of at least 15. If you have a lighter skin tone, then you talk to your doctor or talk to a dermatologist for really what they recommend specifically for your skin tone, but we always say at least 15 at a minimum.
Perfect. So number one, hydrate. Mm-hmm. Number two, plan your day and wear the appropriate clothing.
Yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
How about number three?
Staying indoors as much as possible, staying out of the heat. We understand that sometimes people have to be out in the heat, but making sure you have good rest periods to be inside the air conditioner, no longer than an hour outside exposed to the sun is preference. Sometimes people's jobs take them outside, so that's difficult. So if you're going to be outside, then you need to have a plan in terms of where you're going to be able to get some shade. Keep your water cool, but not ice cold, because the ice cold water could start to upset your stomach as well.
So let's talk about those who have chronic illnesses, the elderly. I mean, that's a very important tip number 4 for those folks as well.
Yeah, and it's, chronic illnesses, anything like that can obviously make the dehydration problem worse, but also medications. You should really be in tune with what medications you're taking. Some medications naturally will cause the body to dehydrate, and a lot of times on the warning labels, it'll say limit your exposure to the sun. We also need to be really well aware of our family members and what other people, our neighbors. Do you have somebody that is at an exposure? Check on them every once in a while and say, hey, have you been drinking water? Have you been eating healthy today? Have you been out of the sun today?
Right. And is your air conditioning on?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, hot cars, kids, pets, another reminder. Can't say that enough.
Yeah, you can't say it enough, because even when it's not extremely hot like it is right now, even in just 80-degree weather, the inside of a car in an hour, if it's sitting in the sun, can get over 120 degrees. So when it's 110, 112 like we experience oftentimes in the summer, you're talking 150 degrees, 160 degrees. It can get that hot. It does not take long in that temperature for the brain to start to fry.
It's also important to know what are the signs if you are in fact dehydrated. Let's go over that real quickly.
Basic dehydration starts with a feeling of nausea and some dizziness, getting a little bit lightheaded. As it starts to progress, the sweating will get really, really extreme. That's when you really need to start thinking about calling 911 and having a medical emergency. In the city, we run over 1,000 heat-related illnesses a year. About half of those come during June, July, and August. So activating 911, starting to cool the body down as well. And if the symptoms get really severe, that's when somebody stops sweating and the brain temperature can start to rise, and then we have a real emergency on our hands.
And God forbid you're climbing Piestewa Peak or Echo Canyon or Camelback in the middle of the day in the heat, because that's what's going to happen. So you need to be careful out there.
Absolutely. Our mountain trails are beautiful, and we have some of the best urban trails in the country. However, in the summer, they can absolutely be deadly. Sometimes people don't realize how high they are. We look at them as mountain climbs, not mountain hikes. Camelback Mountain is actually higher than the Empire State Building. So knowing that it's a mile doesn't really quite do it. You have to really realize what you're getting into and then take the heat into consideration.
Captain, thank you so much. It's great seeing you.
Thank you.
Okay. Remember these very, very important tips to stay cool, stay healthy during these hot days of summer. For City Update, I'm Deborah Sedillo Dugan.